Who needs your protection?
You have to trust me.
Are you ready?
Oh, hello. I'm gonna review Madam Web. I didn't plan to do this, but I went in just on a whim. Valentine's Day on my Dune 2 popcorn bucket. I went and sat in the corner and I watched Madam Web. And I went in with pretty low expectations, let me tell you. And boy, was I wrong. It was very bad. The movie was so bad it was terrible. But, and I am telling you this as a friend, it was really fun. I don't regret going and seeing the movie. It was so bad it was fun. Like one of those movies where it was really entertaining. It wasn't like Aquaman 2 that I thought was just genuinely boring, or Morbius that I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened in that movie. The movie's bad, guys. It's really bad. But I wish I would have went with friends because of how much fun I would have talking about the movie. So, let me get into it.
Come on, you fuckers think that just because a guy reads comics he can't start some shit? Oh.
I will be talking about spoilers immediately. I don't really care about what the plot was. The plot actually wasn't that bad. I think that someone who maybe put more effort into it could have done a little bit better. It's essentially an evil Spider-Man can see his own death. And so he wants to kill these three women, Juliet Harpenter, Anya Hortazan, and Maddie Franklin, because one day in the future they will be Spider-Women and they will kill him. And so he wants to kill them first to prevent that. That is the plot. That's it. It's not that bad. But boy, howdy. First of all, the editing, absolutely trash. It's so bad. It's without a doubt the worst part of this movie. There are so many times I'm convinced that the words that are spoken out of the actor's mouth is not lined up with what they are actually saying on screen, like as if it was dubbed over. The entire time the villain is on screen, I'm pretty sure his whole voice is dubbed over. There's a lot of scenes that don't really make sense or line up together, and they make Dakota Johnson the dumbest person ever. And I don't know if it's because of the editing. It just seems that every time she makes any choice, it's absolutely the wrong choice that immediately leads to something bad. And for a character that apparently can see the future, when she gets her powers, she falls into the river. Her best friend is Ben Parker. This is a bit one, by the way. Ben Parker, the guy who's going to have his brother and wife die, and then he himself be murdered. There is literally a joke at the end of the movie that she knows this is going to happen and she doesn't tell him. Alright, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So she falls into some water. It immediately goes like Doctor Strange mode. She goes into the the web of life multiverse, and she gets the powers to see the future. The real reason she has those powers is because apparently in the Peruvian rainforest there is a species of spider that grants Spider-Man powers. Spider-Man is not special, and there's just tons of Peruvian Spider-Men that exist. And Dakota Johnson's mother, who is 9 months pregnant in the rainforest with her, gets shot and while dying is bit by the spider, and so that's how Dakota Johnson gets those powers. But they're not activated until she falls into the water. Anyways, moving on. It takes her a third of the movie to understand that she has superpowers. She is the rudest, dumbest character I've ever seen in a movie. She just constantly assumes that whenever someone asks her the same question in a row because she's having visions of the future, she's like, why would you ask me this again? I'm fine. Is this how the game is played? She's just the whole movie. She eventually has a scene where she sees the villain, Ezekiel, kill Julia, Anya, and Maddie on a train. And she takes it upon herself to basically protect them, Terminator style, but she then takes the three of them into the middle of the woods to protect them, right? And then decides, I'm going to abandon you in the woods so that I can go drive back to my apartment in New York, which we were in, find the suitcase to read a notebook from her mom that she apparently earlier in the movie indicates that she reads all the time. So how she doesn't have anything memorized, who knows? She can only see the future, apparently not the past. It's starting to get dark. They leave to go get food. Alright, they go to a diner. This is the only fight scene in the entire movie. Ezekiel the bad guy shows up, Madam Web shows up, she tries to fight, he just brutally beats the shit out of all of them. While this is happening, Britney Spears' Toxic is playing on the radio. It's actually a very fun fight scene. There's another part where she then leaves the 3 girls with her best friend Ben Partner, who is staying at his sister-in-law's house, who's pregnant with, guess who? Peter Parker. I mean, they never once say that his name is Peter. They even make a joke about it. Her water breaks. Where's the main character of this movie? Where's Madam Web while this is happening? In Peru. This is why I talk about the editing being so bad. She drops these 3 girls off at this guy's house, then flies to Peru to find out the origins of her powers, and apparently, and I'm not joking, she has the ability to be in more places at once, as she can like multiply her existence in time or something. I don't know. They do it one time in the movie and it makes no sense. And then flies back and just barely misses them as the water breaks and they leave to go to the hospital. Anyways, so they're now driving, trying to get Peter Parker's mom to the hospital. Bad guy finds them, and Dakota Johnson's decision is to drive an ambulance off a bridge and hit the guy standing on the car full of all of the girls and her friend and the pregnant woman, to hit him off the car. She very easily could have crushed all of the people. Movie would have been over. Again, this woman is trying to give birth right now. Dakota Johnson has an ambulance. What does she do? She decides, I'm gonna take the 3 girls and put them in the ambulance and run away. Not the pregnant woman that needs to get to the hospital. Anyways, earlier in the movie, there is a call to a warehouse that apparently is full of, quote, explosives. She decides to take the 3 girls who are in danger and they don't want to die to a warehouse full of explosives. You would think this would be the moment of the climax of the movie. You would think that there would be some cool fight scene that Sydney and Isabella and Celeste came together and they got their Spider-Man. No, the climax of the movie is Madam Web leads these 3 girls through a building that is exploding, like Groundhog's Day, knows to map out every step you're supposed to take. Bad guy shows up and she just like slowly backs up until some stuff falls on the bad guy and he falls down and he dies. No joke. You saw multiple times in the movie, he is Spider-Man. He's leaping down several flights. He's running across skyscrapers. He falls down like what I would consider maybe 3 stories and he dies. And that's it. That's the end of the movie. It's really bad. And you tell that Dakota Johnson did not give a fuck about this performance. You could tell that whoever wrote it, the lines are really terrible. All of that being said, I still thought it was really funny how bad it was. And I actually enjoyed watching it. So if you are the type of person who likes to watch bad movies, you will enjoy this. But if you actually want a good movie, or you like superhero movies, or you like any of the actresses involved in this, don't go see the movie. And I do want to call one thing. If you are only going to see this movie because you are a fan of Sydney Sweeney's acting, don't go. There's no hints of what you're looking for in this movie. Let me just say that. And I'm just going to leave it there.